Perfect. Well, I think we will just get started just now. Um, Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. My name is Katie MacDonald, and I am the Sports Union President for this year. So my job is the kind of sabbatical student representative across our different sports clubs and different programs. And today I will aim to give you a quick whistle-stop tour of kind of all the exciting opportunities that we have on offer at Edinburgh University's Sports Union. So to get us started, this is a slide which showcases all of our 64 sports clubs. So we obviously have an incredible variety of clubs on offer. If you check out the link that I've just put in the chat there, that takes you to our website to show you all of the different pages available. So last year we had over 8,000 club members, so roughly 1/5 of the university's population took part in our club activity. We've obviously got everything ranging from American football and archery to wakeboard, water ski, windsurfing, surfing. So every sport is quite different in terms of what it offers. We've got things like hockey and rugby, where you'd be training multiple times within the week at our facilities. So our facilities being Pleasant Sports Complex at Central, as well as St Leonard's Land, which is the swimming pool and some kind of indoor martial arts spaces there, or down at Peffermill playing fields for things like hockey, rugby, football. So many of our teams and clubs will train multiple times in the week and then would compete on a Wednesday in our Bucks League. So that's against other universities in both Scotland and England. And some clubs also do compete at the weekend as well. It very much varies by the club. Alternatively, clubs such as hill walking, mountaineering, and wakeboard and water ski, they're very much based around weekend trips. So they would kind of have weekend trips maybe every other weekend in the semester, and that will be the majority of your activity rather than kind of through the week. So there's kind of different options depending on what you want to do around your schedule. It can be pretty flexible. I know from my personal experience, I was a member of the Women's Football Club for 4 years, and I absolutely loved the fact that for multiple times a week I got to go and escape the library and get a good run around out at Peffermill. So it is just very much up to you and what you might be interested in. Would encourage you to check out that link I've put in the chat there for any specific information that you want to know about the clubs. And it can all be found on their little web pages there with links to their social media. So in terms of our club sport, as I mentioned, last year we had over 8,000 members taking part in our different sports clubs. So we are the largest student sport programme in Scotland. There are opportunities for absolutely complete beginners all the way through to those competing at the Olympic level. So our students are, they range in ability levels from having played since they started walking all the way through to people who've never picked up any sport before that get involved at university. We've got different levels, so recreational one-off events. These are things like our Edinburgh Experience or edX programme, where we run different tournaments. So last year we did an Africa Cup of Nations five-a-side tournament, and we also did a Squash World Cup. So you could come along, try this. There was no cost, no commitment expected. It was just a one-off day for you to see if you liked the sport. Maybe one step up from that is our Intramural Sport League. So we've got different leagues. We've got 21 leagues, or we had 21 last year, across 8 different sports. So it's a great way to get involved with kind of less of a time commitment. Last year we had about 2,000 people across 160 teams involved in this. So it's a really good way to get involved with maybe less of a time commitment, but still a really good way to kind of stretch your legs and get to play with your friends. Obviously this year our students are incredibly excited to welcome you to Edinburgh, whether that's in person or it's virtually if you're not able to make it straight away. And there will be a wide variety of activity happening this year, but it will, given the COVID-19 pandemic, look a little bit different. We're very lucky as a sports union to be following the Sports Scotland guidance, which I've just put in the chat there if you want to check it out. So all of our activity must be risk assessed, and there'll be detailed, thorough cleaning procedures that clubs are following. And we'll be following all of the university facility guidance as well for those who might use our sport and exercise facilities. For those who use external facilities, we're also risk assessing everything there as well, just to make sure that all activity will be safe. So if that was any of your concern, I promise you that we're doing everything we can to make sure that activity is as safe as possible, and we want as much in-person activity to go ahead as we can. There will also be kind of virtual offerings in case you can't join us. That's completely fine as well. But we will be trying to do as much in-person activity as possible. And we'll be doing that through kind of Sign Up Genius, where students need to sign into sessions prior to coming. So hopefully you might have seen some of our events on the University Welcome Week app, and you can get the Sign Up Genius links there so that you're able to sign up to sessions prior to coming, because that's required due to track and trace. We also, as part of the Sports Union, have our Coaching and Volunteering Academy. So this is a series of kind of lectures, workshops and funding support, where you can kind of get qualifications that might help with running of the club, but also with your own employability. So last year we did over 100 hours of workshops, and we awarded roughly £6,500 to students to help them achieve relevant qualifications. I know from personal experience, I achieved my first aid and mental health first aid through this. So it was really, really helpful to have that support. And this also helps students in getting qualifications such as umpiring and coaching as well. So many of our clubs are quite student-led in terms of the coaching setup. So this gives students opportunity to learn this as well. So if you are not interested in competing in sport in any way, shape or form, but you'd really like to get involved in this side, then there's definitely that option here for you as well. We also have something called the Edinburgh Award, which is kind of a guided self-reflective process which the university support. And we had 76 students go through that last year. So a really good amount of people kind of getting involved in that. And that's something that appears on your transcript as well. So lots of exciting kind of off the pitch opportunities with us as well. In terms of Welcome Week, we are going to have as much in-person activity as possible, as I mentioned previously. So we will have kind of a combination approach. We've got our virtual sports fair, which is going to be launched any day now. It's pretty much ready and good to go. So this will have pages for each of our 64 sports clubs, and you can go in and you can find a bit more information about each one in turn. And you can also register your interest there as well and chat to any of the club members. So there's going to be different sessions which align to the times of the activities fair, and you can come and speak to clubs on a platform just like this. You can just come in and ask your questions to them directly. Alternatively, if you have burning questions at the moment, I'd encourage you to go to that clubs link that I've put in the chat, and you can speak to them directly via email already, and they'd be more than happy to answer your questions. We will be having taster sessions across our 64 sports clubs. So we will be using Pleasance and Peffermill for sure. We're just waiting on confirmation for some of our other facilities. So from 6 a.m. till 10 p.m, there will be a variety of in-person activity taking place. As we'd mentioned previously, it will look a little bit different this year, but we'll be aiming to fill the sessions as much as we can within the government guidelines for capacities and offer you as much of an experience of the clubs as possible. So would encourage you to go along to the clubs that you might be interested in joining and see kind of what the people are like and what the sessions are like, and decide then if you want to actually join the club for the year. And then, as I mentioned there, a variety of in-person and virtual activity. Many clubs are doing some virtual socials, as well as virtual activity in terms of maybe streaming a fitness session, for example, so that you can get involved even if you can't physically join us for a little while. That is completely okay. So how to get involved? I would encourage you to follow our social media channels, which I will pop in the chat function as well. So everything that we are doing between now and across the year really for Welcome Week as well will be posted on all of these sites. So I'd encourage you to follow them to stay in the loop. Additionally, on that club website page that I'd put into the chat, you can go and check out any of the club's pages there. That will give you all of their contact information, a little bit about them, and then their social media as well if you want to get following those pages so you can see what they've been up to and maybe some of their committee introductions, for example. And lastly, you can get in contact with them directly, and all memberships in terms of actually joining our sports clubs will be purchased through the Sports Union website there. So if you go and check that out, you'll see that there's the different membership options within each club's box. So the process usually is that you'd come along to a taster session, see if you like it, alternatively just getting in touch with the club before you join us in Edinburgh, kind of see what the situation is, and if you decide that you would like to join, then you just purchase the relevant membership on the club's page. So every membership is done through the club itself. The only membership you need to buy in terms of a Sports Union perspective is the £7.50 for students Sports Union membership, but it will not let you check out if you do not purchase this, so you won't miss it. But in terms of memberships, those are directly from the clubs. So lastly,